Chapter 1, First Impressions. Elliot Ray sat on the cold, hard bench, his heart pounding in rhythm with the heavy clang of the prison doors behind him. The stifling silence felt suffocating, interrupted only by distant shouts and the echo of footsteps on concrete. As he surveyed his surroundings, a wave of despair washed over him. The gray walls seemed to close in, each shadow whispering of lost hope and regret. In that moment, vulnerability enveloped him like a shroud. "Don't let it break you," he murmured to himself, remembering how he used to inspire young minds as a teacher. In the face of this new reality, Elliot clung to the flicker of purpose still alive in his heart. He resolved to put his knowledge to use, not just for himself, but to help others navigate this harsh landscape. The journey of redemption had begun, and despite the looming darkness, he felt an ember of hope ignite within, a promise of friendship beyond these steel bars. Chapter 2, Broken Lives. As the prison doors swung shut behind her, Maria felt the weight of her past crash down like a tidal wave. "This place is filled with lost dreams," she scribbled in her diary, each word dripping with the pain of disappointment. Jamal, reflecting on his past life as a gang leader, wrote about the stark contrast between his old world of power and this new reality of surrender. "I traded respect for regret," he noted, his heart heavy with remorse. Ronnie, with decades behind bars, embraced her aging cell with surprising warmth, musings filled with humor and sage wisdom. "We're all just stories waiting to be rewritten," she chuckled, hoping to uplift those around her. Elliot, watching the younger inmates navigate their despair, felt a flicker of hope as he witnessed their resilience. "In these broken lives, perhaps there's an opportunity for growth together," he wrote, fortifying his commitment to foster understanding among them. Chapter 3, Unexpected Friends. Elliot sat on the edge of his narrow cot, the weight of despair heavy on his chest. Orientation had been an overwhelming blur of voices and rules, each one a reminder of the world he had left behind. But as he glanced around the common area, he noticed familiar faces, other inmates with expressions of uncertainty mirroring his own. A spark of connection ignited when Maria, with her paint-stained hands, approached him. "First day?" she asked, offering a tentative smile. "Yeah," Elliot replied, surprised at how comforting her presence was. They exchanged stories, their laughter breaking through the oppressive silence. Later, Jamal joined them, sharing tales of his past mistakes with a newfound vulnerability. In this moment of frankness, Elliot realized they all craved understanding. They forged unexpected friendships, tentative yet vital, weaving a tapestry of support as they embarked on their shared journey toward redemption. Behind steel, hope began to bloom. Chapter 4, A Brush with Art. Maria Salazar stepped into the art therapy room for the first time, her heart racing with a mix of excitement and trepidation. The stark walls, once insurmountable barriers, now felt like a blank canvas ripe for transformation. As she picked up her paintbrush, color danced across the palette, representing the emotions she had long suppressed. The act of creation became her sanctuary, a way to express her pain and aspirations. Each stroke of paint on the canvas whispered of freedom, allowing her to explore her identity beyond the confines of her past. She poured her soul into a mural that depicted a phoenix rising from ashes, a symbol of hope and rebirth. In those moments, she felt liberated, connecting with other inmates who shared their own stories through art. Maria realized that, despite their shared confinement, together they could forge a path toward healing and self-discovery, stitching together fragmented lives into something beautiful. Chapter 5, Words That Heal. Jamal Green's diary entry opens with a poignant realization. He had spent years locked in a mental cage, just as confining as the physical one surrounding him. As he sits in the library, the scent of worn pages envelops him like an embrace, reminding him of a world beyond these walls. Today he pulls a book from the shelf, its spine cracked and faded, The Count of Monte Cristo. As he immerses himself in the story, the themes of revenge and redemption deeply resonate within him. Reading becomes his refuge, transporting him to a realm where he can reimagine his life. Inspired, he begins to write letters to the younger inmates, sharing not just stories from the books, but also lessons from his past. Each word serves as a beacon of hope, igniting a passion for learning. With every page turned, Jamal transforms his pain into purpose, fostering connections that start to heal not only himself, but those around him. Chapter 6. Lessons in Leadership. Jamal sat in the small, sunlit room of the prison library, surrounded by a group of eager faces. It was here, amidst the worn pages of books and the scent of yellowed paper, that he found his calling. His mentor, a former educator, had seen potential in Jamal, urging him to share his newfound love for reading with others. Today, Jamal was no longer just a participant. He was the leader of his own support group for troubled youth within the prison. As he shared stories of triumph and failure, he noticed the spark of hope reflected in their eyes. Each session became a safe haven, where they could lay bare their insecurities and fears. Jamal encouraged them to explore literature, applying its lessons to their own lives. In guiding others, he discovered a deeper understanding of himself, a path to redemption that illuminated the darkest corners of his past, transforming him from a gang leader to a beacon of hope. Chapter 7. Shared Struggles. Inside the prison walls, the weight of despair can be suffocating, but within this darkness, the seeds of camaraderie begin to sprout. One evening, as dusk settles over the yard, Elliot listens intently as Jamal shares his story during a nightly gathering. The raw honesty in Jamal's voice resonates with the others, inviting vulnerability. Maria, inspired by the power of his words, adds her own struggles with identity, evoking nods of understanding from those around her. The unlikeliest of friendships form in these moments of shared pain. Ronnie, with her sage wisdom, comforts a young inmate grappling with regrets. "You're not alone," she tells him. As stories are exchanged, laughter breaks the monotony of confinement, illustrating the resilience of the human spirit. Bonds forged in the crucible of shared struggles become lifelines, empowering each character to confront their pasts and envision a brighter future together. Chapter 8. Portraits of Transformation. As the weeks passed, a palpable sense of growth emerged within the prison walls. Elliot, Maria, Jamal, and Ronnie found their individual journeys interwoven, each marked by the threads of friendship and support. Elliot stood beside Maria as she meticulously painted a vibrant mural of a sunset, each stroke a release of past pain and a celebration of newfound hope. Jamal reflected on the transformation in his own soul, his once violent demeanor softened through the laughter shared with those who once felt like strangers. He guided fellow inmates in literacy sessions, helping them find their voices through words, fostering a ripple of change. Ronnie, with her warm laughter and sage advice, nurtured these connections, reminding them of the importance of family, even in the unlikeliest places. Together, they crafted an environment rich in resilience, a testament to the extraordinary power of human connection to inspire healing and change amidst darkness. Chapter 9. Building a Family. As the weeks passed, Ronnie Thompson became a cornerstone for the younger inmates, her laughter and wisdom echoing through the otherwise stark prison walls. She organized weekly gatherings in the common area, inviting anyone who needed a listening ear or a comforting word. "We may wear these gray uniforms," she often said, gesturing to her fellow inmates, "but we're still vibrant beings with stories to share." Through shared meals and late-night conversations, Ronnie nurtured bonds that transcended blood ties. She encouraged Maria to express her feelings through art, while Jamal found solace in teaching literacy, realizing he had much to offer. These gatherings became a refuge where vulnerabilities could be shared without judgment. As they drew strength from one another, inmates discovered that family didn't have to be based on heritage. It could be forged through understanding and love and the shared pursuit of redemption. Together, they created a tapestry of support that flourished in even the bleakest of places. Chapter 10. Memories of Freedom. As Elliot closes his eyes, memories of sunlit classrooms and laughter echo in his mind. He recalls the thrill of teaching, igniting curiosity in young minds, a responsibility he deeply cherished. Maria's thoughts drift to childhood days spent in her grandmother's garden, where vibrant flowers sprang to life under her tender care. The scent of blooming jasmine fills the air, reminding her of innocence and untamed dreams before her life took a detour. Jamal reflects on cold nights in the streets, the weight of leadership forged in survival rather than purpose. Images of camaraderie with his younger peers flicker through his thoughts, illuminating a path he now yearns to honor. Ronnie, too, treasures fleeting moments, baking cupcakes for friends, holiday celebrations filled with laughter and the warmth of her mother's embrace. Each memory intertwines with regret, forming a tapestry of experiences that shape their yearning for a second chance, a new life beyond the prison gates. Chapter 11. Dreams Deferred. As the days until their release dwindle, a profound sense of nostalgia envelops the inmates. Elliot reflects on his life as a teacher, lamenting the missed opportunities to inspire his students. "I never imagined I would become a lesson in failure," he writes, grappling with the weight of his choices. Maria recalls her vibrant pre-prison existence filled with paint, laughter, and freedom. "Art used to flow from me like a river. Now, it's a trickle, stifled by walls," she confesses, her eyes tracing the mural she created in honor of lost dreams. Jamal confronts the stark reality of his past. Once a leader of a gang, now a man seeking redemption. "I must prove that change is possible even when hope seems distant," he writes. Each entry echoes with a mix of regret and resolve as they come to terms with the complexity of their aspirations, entwined with the bleakness of lost time. Chapter 12. Anticipation of Change. As the sun rises, casting a warm glow through the prison's barred windows, Elliot sits quietly in his cell, pen in hand. "It's hard to believe that freedom is only days away," he writes, a mix of excitement and fear coursing through him. Each character shares their thoughts, voices echoing like a chorus of hope. Maria reflects on the murals that now adorn the common areas, symbols of her transformation and a reminder of the beauty she can create. Jamal feels the weight of responsibility in helping others, recognizing that his journey doesn't end at the gate. Ronnie, always the anchor, pieces together plans for their future gatherings, a reunion built on the bonds forged in shared struggles. Together, they create a support network, promising to be each other's lifeline. As the countdown to their release begins, they look forward, unified in their anticipation of change, ready to conquer the world outside those steel walls. Chapter 13. Paths to New Beginnings. As the release date approaches, Elliot, Maria, Jamal, and Ronnie gather one last time in the prison yard, an open space that has come to symbolize both confinement and newfound purpose. Each shares their hopes and anxieties. Elliot dreams of teaching again, using what he learned within these walls to uplift at-risk youth. Maria envisions a future filled with vibrant canvases, wanting to inspire others through her art. Jamal, now a mentor, resolves to guide young men in his neighborhood, preventing them from making the mistakes he once did. Ronnie, with a twinkle of mischief in her eye, plans to write her memoir, capturing the lives and stories of those she's grown to love. They affirm their commitment to stay connected. Phone calls, letters, and visits will bridge the gap between their pasts and the lives they are stepping into. In that moment, hope transcends the cold steel surrounding them, illuminating the paths ahead.